mouth, and they may obey us, and we turn about your whole body. James chapter 3 and verse 3. Whenever I'm in Matthew chapter 5, and it talks about the meek, it's actually a horse riding term, and it describes basically a Christian putting a bit and a brace in their mouth and letting God direct them around. And I believe that's what we have to do, and even with our tongues. The illustration James used here is the horse. It was David who said, I said, I will take heed to my ways, that a sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. Psalms 39 and verse 1. Uh, then he quotes, that's not in the commentary on the radio program, Psalms 32 in verse 9. I'll read that to you. Psalms 32 and verse 9. It says there, be not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with a bit and bridle, lest they come near unto thee. And so that it's two examples of where we're talking about horses. Wants me to connect to the TV. Okay, again. In other words, David said that because he wanted to give the right kind of testimony, he would put a bridle on his mouth. My friend, there are a lot of Christians today who ought to have a bridle put on their mouth. The bridle bits are not impressive in size, but they can hold a high-spirited horse in check and keep him from running away. If you are old enough, you may have recollections of the horse and buggy days. I can recall seeing a horse run away, turn over a buggy, and bring death and destruction to a family. In the same way, the tongue can run away. Someone said of another individual, his mind starts his tongue to wagging and then goes off and leaves it. We should not go through life like that. There needs to be a bridle for the tongue. Now, James is going to use a different illustration in verse 4. Behold also the ships which thou though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor list. James chapter 3 and verse 4. Large ships can be controlled by a large rudder, which few people even see. A fierce storm may drive a ship, but a little rudder can control it. The tongue can also change the course of your lives. Men have been ruined by the tongue. Uh, the the fair name of a woman has been wrecked by some gossipy tongue. James says that the tongue is more dangerous than a runaway horse or a storm at sea. I believe that liquor is eating at the vitals of our nation today. But did you know that the tongue is condemned more in Scripture than alcohol is condemned? Liquor and alcohol may bring our nation down, yet the tongue is even more dangerous than that. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16 and 17 says, these 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. My lying tongue is one of the 7 things that God hates. And that concludes